good evening, and welcome to Conversations with Entrepreneurs. I am your host, Alethea Brown with Mahogany Productions, and I'm joined here with my co-host. Let's start with you tonight, Julie.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Julie Logan, founder and CEO of J. Logan Business Support Services and Popcorn Heaven.
Yes, Chanel.
Hello, hello. Chanel here with Moonglade Travel.
And Jeff.
Hey, I'm Jeff White with Yes We Did LLC. Happy to be here with the ladies for Women's Month.
That's right. We've been celebrating Women's History Month all month. As you may notice, most of our followers and viewers, we've hosted a lot of different women entrepreneurs, and they told us about their companies and their organizations and what they're doing. And so tonight we kind of just want to recap that a little bit. They were spectacular women in so many different ways. And so we want to just open the dialogue a little bit more about them. I think the first one we're going to talk about tonight will be Monique. Monique Douglas, I just think she's absolutely fabulous, but she is, to me, a mover and a shaker with what she's doing and what she's been able to accomplish again in the middle of this pandemic. Not only what she does with her Studio 229 here in Charlotte, what it stands for, where it's located, and also her organization and her art exhibits and all of that. So Julie, I know you know Monique. And I think that was one of the shows that I can't remember, if you were in that show that night.
Yeah, I think I was in and out that show. Yeah, you're right. Monique is a mover and a shaker. Her and her husband, Kevin Douglas, who are the owners of Studio 229 on Brevard here in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's a fantastic venue. Kevin is an awesome photographer, and his business is, I utilized Kevin when I was in my corporate days. He was our corporate photographer, and so he's the best in my opinion. And then of course Monique, who oversees the Brooklyn Collective at Studio 229. There's 3 buildings there. You have Studio, you have the Church, the Grace, and I think the other side is the art gallery as well too. So yeah, she is a mover and a shaker in the community.
And even with the art gallery, like right now, their exhibit is based on the healthcare workers during the pandemic. And just the idea of what she would have had to do, who she needed to get in contact with to find the artists that were working on that type of artwork. So it tells you, how integrated she is in her community and with the resources within the city. So Chanel, what were some of the things that stood out about Monique to you?
Many things. I love the fact that her and her husband are just such a phenomenal power couple in the amazing work that they're doing together in the community. Monique, just to me, seemed hyper local, like her focus on community and, like you said, what she's doing over there, not just for, having a business in that community, but how she's inspiring entrepreneurship through youth. And then I think she also mentioned about having like an entrepreneur in residence program, where it's really like that innovative and welcoming community of entrepreneurs, as far as that co-working space and kind of the work together, how you have somebody in marketing and they're here and then they do the marketing for, majority of the folks that are there and so on and so forth. So that was really inspiring to me. And then to hear about all she has overcome through the pandemic. She mentioned that she was just in the process of, I believe, getting her alcohol license during that time, and what that process was like. So the resiliency that she demonstrated and illustrated was really just inspiring to me on many levels. So Monique was awesome.
Yeah. Now, Jeff, I know you and Chanel brought it up. It was her incubator. I think that's what she called it, her incubator program.
Yeah. That was phenomenal because you don't see a lot of that happening. You see it kind of in silos. And it's usually the ones that I've seen are just strictly co-working. It's really not that community as intentionally as a community that Monique is doing in her area. So that's what I love to see. That really inspired me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, speaking of the incubator, that I hadn't heard that word in years, because when I was in Chicago and I started a business many years ago, I'd stumbled up on SCORE, which is the Service Corps of Retired Executives, and they told me about the incubator program. So I did some research and found out that they're out there. A lot of people don't know that, and there's so many different resources available to a person that they don't have to be on the island unless they want to be. But the problem is you don't know what's there because no one talks about it. And how do you search for something you don't even know exists?
Exactly.
Which is a problem, which is why I really like what she's doing. But you guys know I like backstories. Um, I like to see what everyone else sees, but I want to know what's going on behind the scenes, because that's where the real action is. And I really like the fact that she talked about how her and her husband, they have a system. You got to have a system, because for a lot of people, you're in some type of relationship, whether you're married or you have a boyfriend or girlfriend or something, they have to understand what you're doing. And if they're not on board, it can sabotage your business. And see, that's a part of it people don't realize. They don't see that. And if you don't know that, if you go in not knowing that, you're going to suffer. Your relationship's going to suffer. It's going to be strained. So when she talked about how her and her husband, they have an understanding, and how sometimes he's like, I don't need to see you, and she doesn't take it personal because she understands. That is huge. Because a lot of people, they don't get that part. They think, oh, you don't want to see me, what's wrong with you? And then they go on a little tangent. But when it comes to running a business, sometimes you're in your own little zone, and you need that space to focus. You need space just to get away. And if your partner doesn't understand that and support that, it can really just bring everything down. So that was huge that she even said that, because a lot of people don't realize that. So that really got my attention. I'm just so happy that she even said that, because that's something people really need to know too.
Mhm. And I love that she does poetry too. Just like those little different things that gives her her free spirit, and outside of everything to do. So I love that she talked about that as well. So she was great. And like you, Julie, Kevin, he was the photographer for the Black History event that we had there. And so it was just really nice. And the place was awesome. And she's like the greatest host ever, right? And so you look forward to, the time you can get the opportunity to have another event at her location. So I really enjoyed it. I'm glad you guys enjoyed her too. So
Well, another thing I was going to say about Monique, the fact that she's even creating this space for other entrepreneurs, not just her spoken word, but now she has this physical space that someone as an artist or an entrepreneur or someone who's into the arts can go to. I think that's phenomenal too. So it's not just a business where she's offering her consultation services. It's an opportunity and a space for others. So I think that's just phenomenal in my eyes.
Yeah, and if I can add to that, Chanel, you're absolutely right. Because I do part-time bartending with them, and what they have provided is a space for aspiring artists. It's a platform for aspiring artists to share their gift and their talent at Studio 229, and it's just been phenomenal to see the different types of artists that come through there who the world needs to see, but they've just given a chance. They provided that platform for that.
and she also has a foundation, and it's called Blooming Greatness Foundation. And one of the quotes that's over is, "Greatness is within, let us bring it out. Educate, enrich, and expose." And this program is for children. And their tagline is, "We believe that when a child embraces their uniqueness, they will step into their greatness." And so she's been on WCNC. She's gotten a lot of press over the initiative that she's working on now with this foundation. And so when I reached out to her and I saw it, I told her I would share it on our Facebook page so that more people. So with this show, we will share the link to her foundation for anyone that's interested in learning more, in helping or contributing to that organization, because teaching them when they're younger is very important. They are the future, and we want them to be as well equipped as they can be. So now we're going to go back to the fun. Sharon from Cupcaking Around. It was great having her on the show. So I'm going to let you start this one, Chanel.
Sharon was so sweet, literally. I love Sharon's story. Just to hear that, you know, she had been in her corporate role for what, over 20 years, and, you know, finally had the courage and the support and the faith to say, okay, now it's time to turn this passion project into something more. I mean, she really, really struck me, once again, for many reasons, but I really loved her story, hearing about her, how supportive her husband was. And Jeff, like you mentioned, that's so important, especially in entrepreneurship, and especially when your husband is not, or your spouse is not an entrepreneur themselves. So to hear that he believed in her as much as she believed in herself and saw that in her and supported her through that transition, was phenomenal. And then to hear the growth that she's had, you know, over the last year through this pandemic was remarkable for me.
Mm-hmm. It was amazing, Jeff.
The backstory. I love backstories. I should change my name to Mr. BS for backstory. I probably wouldn't go over too well,
Yeah,
but
no,
I love backstories. Only
That would
because
fit very well for you, Jeff.
No, I'm
I think it would be great.
Mr. Backstory. Mr. Backstory. Acronym. This
BS.
yep.
You know I
Can we
can't
mute
let
them?
it go.
I'm trying to talk. Can we mute them, please? No, yeah, I love backstories for real, because that's where the action is. That's where the real deal goes. I mean, people need to listen to her story seriously, because she started this cupcake company. She didn't go to school for being a chef. She got on YouTube and watched recipes and practiced and did things with her, I think she said her niece. And it just grew from there. So for me, it's the fact that, hey, I have a passion for something. I'm good at it. I'm not going to let anything stop me. I'm not going to let a title stop me. I am going to go for it. I am going to go out there and put it out there in the universe and see what happens. And it worked phenomenally. And I'm just so happy and excited when I hear stories like that, because then it motivates me as well. So I was very happy to hear her story, and then the fact that she did it during the pandemic, which just is another thing that you have to remember. Okay, we in a pandemic, so what? For every time there's chaos, there's opportunity. It all depends on how you look at it. And she saw opportunity and she ran with it. While other people are sitting at home worrying, oh Lord, what I'm going to do? She's like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. And she capitalized when other people were down on their luck. But we all have that opportunity to do that. We may think we're down, but there was a silver lining out there someplace for all of us in every type of negative aspect of our lives. There's a way to turn that around into something positive, which is exactly what she did, which is something that we all could do. So that's what I got out of it.
Yeah, because she catered the dessert for the Black History event. And I like that she, because of the social distancing and, you know, with the people, it's not like you can serve them pieces of cake or a cupcake, right? And so she decided, you know, she has what they call these little shots, like dessert shots, right? And she took the time to find a cup that she can put them in that will have lids, so they will be spread out and individually people will be able to get it. And so she had the display there. She figured out how to make people be able to get it. She even found a way to attach the spoons on it so no one else would have to touch the spoons. It's like she was prepared and she was ready, and they waxed all those desserts. I had the one left over from me. I told her I got to do the show all over again just so I can get some, because she had the banana pudding, the red velvet cake, and peach cobbler. And everyone told me when they was rubbing their belly that it was so good, but I didn't get a chance to do it. So I look forward to having her again for another event, because I see her designs, cake designs every day. Like every day she has cake designs because she's in that much of a high demand right now. And someone had some type of event and their color was blue for their wedding, I think it was. And if you was to see this cake, the way she did it, the things that she put on it, it was like the cake looked like the wedding dress. It was just absolutely gorgeous. And when you see her at the people events and you see how they had their tables, everything just flowed. Like it was just so gorgeous. She takes tremendous pride in the product that she's creating, and it shows all the time. I'm gaining weight every time she just posts something up there. It's just everything. But she's great. And like you said, Jeff, her backstory,
Yeah.
you know, and I agree with you and Chanel too, having a spouse that understands that what you're doing and supports it, you know, not feeling like they're being neglected because you got to put this time in, but supports it. And so it was great to see, because he was there. He was there at the history event. We had dinner and with the caterer, we sat at the table and chit chatted. So he was there with her at the event. He still brought it the whole time. So I thought that was cool.
Another thing that stood out with me for Sharon was the customization. I think was really, really that, and customer service for her, which is stuck out, which is a really good point. You know, being able to, you can go anywhere, you can go to any grocery store and buy a cake, but having her to be able to listen to her clients or customers and really craft something exactly for them, I think sets her apart, you know, from other places and anywhere else you can go. I thought that was really, really important, especially customer service too. Hey, Dee.
Yeah, I wanted to,
oh.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Chanel, go ahead.
One other thing that I thought about, you know, her having, you know, I think she mentioned that towards the end before she left her job, how, you know, she was having to turn away customers on her cupcake business because, you know, various things on her job. But, you know, the fact that she said enough is enough here because you're getting in the way of my passion, it's so important, because so often we see folks that are in, you know, corporate roles, or I don't want to call them dead end jobs, but, you know, you've been doing the same thing for so long and you are there because of that security. However, you're stressed out, you know, you may be having all other types of issues that come along with that. So once again, for her to have that courage and that faith to really say, you know, my passion and my sanity is more important than this. And she's thriving. She's really being successful through it all was really a good point for me.
She did. She said that, you know, she was turning people down because of demands from her regular job. She didn't want to tell people, yes, I can make the cake by a certain time, and then can't meet that deadline, and then that impact their event. She didn't want to be responsible for something like that. So the integrity behind her business decision is another thing too. You know.
Yeah.
Good, Julie.
I was gonna say, I did hear, I think I was on the call when I did hear her say that, and she was talking about her backstory, but I kid Jeff by saying that the BS would fit him well. Let me clarify.
It's too late.
Julie, clean it up.
No. For the audience, Jeff is the ultimate entrepreneur on steroids. There is no BS about Jeff, but Jeff has BS. He has a backstory to why he is who he is in his businesses. I think we all have a backstory, right? That defines who we are and where we are in our lives right now, and it's where we are. So, Jeff, I wanted to clean that up just a little bit.
Julie, I'm gonna take it to another level, right? So I believe that we all have BS at a certain level.
We do.
And I'm going to add business savvy to that level of BS. Business.
Very good. I love it. I love it. That's the BS we were talking about, people. That's what we were talking about. There you have it.
We'll see what happens when the recording stops. It's all in fun, people. We just like to have fun. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
The respect is there 100%, but you gotta be able to laugh and have fun, everybody.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because you work so hard. We work so hard as entrepreneurs, to me, and I think we all feel this way. We all have said it, that I look forward to these times.
Mm-hmm.
And know, I was missing you all when I wasn't able to come on Tuesdays. But to just step aside from everything, the hustle and the bustle of entrepreneurship, to really come on with people that you actually like and have fun with, right?
Yeah.
I
Hey,
love
And have no BS.
And have no yes.
it's not going to die. Hey, D, join the conversation, D. Join the
Got
conversation.
it back around.
I'm not sure what I missed,
You stepped into, right?
right? But I
You
commit
stepped into
to
some BS, Dion.
I was going to go there. But no.
Julie, but I commit to wearing my boots. That's what I maybe should say. I commit to wearing some good covered feet shoes, whatever this is. Yeah. I apologize for being so late, y'all. But yeah, Julie, you just said kind of exactly how I felt just getting on the call today. I was kind of I didn't want to miss the call because this is a place of relief for me. You know, I just heard you mentioning the young lady with the cupcakes that came to our show and stuff like that, and just following that passion. You know, my passion when I get done with work is to get here to you guys, and that was impeded today, and it ruffled my feathers a little bit. You know, I got a little, you know, you still got life going on, and you do look for these places where you can let your hair down proverbially. You can kick your BS your way and all that stuff. You know, I got a BS degree, Jeff. And mine could mean everything everybody's thinking.
And that is why Dion is the business savvy expert of mental health.
Right.
That's what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
More
Absolutely.
BS, Julie, more BS.
And this is what we've been looking forward to. And this is what we've had. So April is our 1-year anniversary. We've been hanging here for a year with this, and it's been great. And it's been just another attachment to each other. Like you said, we all look forward to this every week. And we miss each other when one person is unable to show. But we try to make up for their absence by sharing something we think they would say or do. Just so they know, you know, you guys are in our hearts and on our minds when you can't make it to the show. So we do miss you. We miss you guys a lot when you can't show, but we understand why you can't, but we do miss you. And that's probably why we cut up real bad. Man, if we do the blooper reel, they just won't even know. If I start doing blooper reels, it's going to be worse than the one we did for Dion. It's just staying.
Jeff's got the best line for the blooper reel. Jeff's got.
I don't know none of y'all.
He just disowned us. Jeff just disowned us. So we're going to get back, because we know we can cut out real bad. We're going to get back to what we was talking about, so I can get y'all back on target.
Let's talk about Julie's hat.
Oh, Lord, she put the thing on and she back to the illustration.
See?
I'm back.
And I still can't find that, Chanel. It's something Julie has. I can't find them.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't find them. But Jeff, please don't break out the black hat. Mask me.
I was asking what kind of computer you got.
Oh, you go.
Not the one you have, though, or Julie. Not the one you and Julie have.
Really, Jeff?
Okay, I'm done.
Let's get back on topic. So, Dion, before you came on, we were discussing the different women that we've had in honor of Women's History Month as it's winding down. And so we discussed Monique. She was great. And we were just finishing up with Sharon, as you know, when you came in. And we were getting ready to segue into Linda. I think so, too. Yeah.
Oh, she was a whole fireball of energy. I mean, I left the show and I really did go, I wonder what else I could do. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, I'm a believer in idle time is not just the devil's workshop. It's unproductive, you know. And so it is, it's therapeutic to fill up your time in different ways. And if you add a money-making measure it just helps all the way around. And yet Linda, she was inspirational. I mean, she was ready and raring to go. I just appreciate people like her because, and I appreciated her language. That's what I love too. You know, everybody's probably dealt, especially on our panel right here, have definitely dealt with some corporate stuff. And corporate world can be like, it can be like the Bermuda Triangle too. You can get in there and get lost and never come back, you know, and you'll be wearing suits to bed and addressing everybody as Mr. and Mrs. And you'll be only doing that. I love it when we are allowed to be ourselves fully and totally, even name our business the way we want to, and it becomes successful. I was just digging all her language. She had a quote last week. I've said it probably about 20 times, Jeff, like I used your quote the other week after we got off the show. She said, you need more than Google and God. I love stuff like that. I do, because that's just, what that means is you got to do something. It's something you have to do. And if you know anything, that's what Google wants you to do when they send you all their information, and that's what God wants you to do too. He wants you to do something, right? So yeah, she just had, I loved her whole cultural feel. She was connected. She was connected, and she was unashamedly Black. And I appreciated that. I sure did. Yeah.
And it was cool, people. She enjoyed herself. She really, really enjoyed the show. She was like, she goes, you guys are so cool. Like, she really enjoyed the show. And that's like the best feedback. You know, we're excited to have them, but then when they come, then they're like so excited that they got to be a part of the group. And that's just another thing too. So that's a testament to what we bring, and people want to be a part of it. And that's great. You know, knowing that people want to be, and people are excited that they were a part of being it. So it was nice to see that feedback from her and share with you guys. When she sent that to me, she was like, and she kept pinking me. Yeah, even after I sent y'all that one, she was just so excited about being on the show. She said it was like the best podcast she had been on. And so that's good feedback too, to hear from people. So I like that. That means that we have something special here.
But you know, one thing I heard her say, or maybe it was after the show, she might have said it during the show, that was she nervous about coming on the show?
Yep, she was.
I thought that was really interesting. I guess a lot of people, maybe we need to preference that, you know, we're just down to earth, have fun, you know, it is what it is type of show. And I think that will help minimize some of the anxiety, stress with people that comes on here, because we're just like everyday people, just like anybody else, you know?
Sharon was the same way too. She says, I don't know what I'm going to say. So I had a pep call with her the day before. I was like, no, I said, we're real cool. We're real laid back. This is usually how the flow goes. And so she said, you sure? Linda was like, well, let me watch a couple of your shows so I'll know. And I can get a feel for the other people that are on the show and stuff. And then afterwards, it's like, they love it. Like, it's the coolest thing. And that's great. You know, that's cool to hear, for people to say that about us, and how we welcome them when they do come here. But yeah, Sharon, she loved it, because we even did kind of like an afterwards after too. Then we stayed up there for a good few minutes afterwards too. Even once I stopped the recording, she just hung out with us for a bit. So it was cool. It was
well, if you tell the truth, y'all were probably hanging out eating cupcakes, and I missed it all. That's probably what it was.
No, we didn't have any cupcakes, Julie, unfortunately.
I didn't get my package in the mail, so I missed out on that one.
So we had a different segue. Didn't I even segue to the Geico commercial with the scoop, there it is, and then that was a whole nother ballgame?
Yes, you did. Jeff had to get around, the Tupac I Get Around. He plugged somebody. Somebody had that with the women. I can't remember which one it was.
It was Jeff, because the next day when Sharon posted a cake on her story, she actually had the Tupac song I Get Around playing in the background.
That is great right there. That is great.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. She did. She said,
that's how we do.
That's how we do, Jeff. That's all right right there.
Over here, the 5-5. Better ask somebody.
It's all right.
I get that's
Look,
a
you plant the seed and it will be watered. How about that?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He planted the I get around seed in there, and she put it in there with the cake.
I gotta see it. I gotta see that. I gotta see that.
She said, when I saw that thing, I was like, she said, tell Jeff, show it to Jeff. I was like, all right. That's all right. So she carried it on with her. And the show stuck with her even after she left. She enjoyed it that much. And then, and she had a lot of support too, because, when the show aired, her people were there and her husband, he was there and he was making sure people were sharing it so they can see my wife. And, and it was cool. It was cool to watch them interact that night. So it was nice. It was really, really nice. So it has been a great month of guests, and we're looking forward to our first year anniversary month. So we're celebrating every week for April. And so we have some surprises coming up for you. You may see from some of our former guests from last year that will be sharing some little video sentiments on how they enjoyed being on the show throughout the month. So follow us on Facebook and Instagram to see those little videos. We will share them with you, and it's just a whole lot more up our sleeve as we go into this next year of conversations with entrepreneurs. So anybody have anything else they want to talk about real quick? I know a couple of you do have to drop off. I want to make sure that we all get everything out of our system since Dion was the last one.
Let me hurry up and get off then.
No.
So I just want to say, y'all, how much I really appreciate y'all and the show and this avenue and this lane. So y'all know I'm not like a huge social media presence. We'll say it just like that only, right? When people have found out that I was on a podcast that was being recorded and being sent out, everybody I know has Facebook and all the social media. I have little to none, and we'll leave it like that. But they were blown away, and they was like, what in the world made you get on? Because they know me enough. And I told them, it's not just talking about entrepreneurship, it's the people. And I just really, really, really want y'all to know how much y'all mean to me and how much I appreciate y'all. We did this in a pandemic, y'all. And you still had life to live, and Jeff opened the camps, and Chanel has been around the world, and Julie has the popcorn heaven going on, and Alethea is trying to get back and forth to London. It's been a serious year. It's been a serious year, and I wouldn't have shared it with nobody else on my Tuesdays and Thursdays for the recording audience. I wouldn't have shared it with anybody else but y'all. I really love y'all, and I appreciate y'all. I mean that.
Back and forth to London, like really deep, really deep. Back and forth to London.
You're getting back and forth there, one way or the other.
Virtually.
Speaking into existence.
Yes.
I'm waiting on
Never
vaccinations. I'm waiting on vaccinations. They ain't gonna let me travel.
Like my private jet, I'll let you borrow it.
I'm saying, go ahead and hook me up, D. I'm ready to roll. Like, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to do this. I agree with you.
I'd like to say too, and offer, as part of one of our recordings, for those that are here in Charlotte or close by, maybe we can do a live recording at Popcorn Heaven. It's a big enough space to where we all can set up.
Yes.
Just want to throw that idea.
I love that. Let me know when and who I can get over there and do that. I've been trying to do live for a minute now.
How big is a monitor for me? I want a little 5-inch monitor. I need one of them big, movie screens.
That's right, Jeff. You getting the big one, right?
Yeah. We're gonna do it right.
What size monitor does your Dell have?
It's pretty big. It's like this. But we're not talking about my Dell. We're talking about TV screens for the wall.
Right.
That's what we talking. We talking about the wall. We going big. Go big or go home. Chanel.
A projector, Jeff. A projector.
Yes. Yeah, we can go there too.
So Julie, we would love to figure out how to coordinate that effort. I would love that. I want to do live. That's like the next step that I think we are really ready for, is to actually do a live show, to actually have a panel audience where people can interact with us and our guests and ask the different questions and get us on TV. This is my next step for Conversation with Entrepreneurs. As for the vote on. So yeah, live. And I'm sorry, my screen just looks weird. I don't know if it's because my sun is fading in my window or what. Sorry about that. But yeah, definitely let's talk about that and get that coordinated and see when that will be and get Jeff on blue screen. Yes, blue screen for Jeff, blue screen.
Well, Jeff, you know we got Chanel here. We might can get you when you're ready to move. We can probably get you a great package to come on up, and then we'll collectively come down to Florida when Julie's able to break from the business. Cause we ain't nothing like live in Florida.
Listen, Linda. All you have to do is tell me when you say Florida, I'm down.
I know that's right, Julie. I know that's right. Yeah.
Well, Moonglade Travel was supposed to have been coordinating the team trip. I recall that conversation a period of time ago. Y'all just tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Let's go on tour. We talked about that too. Conversations with Entrepreneurs goes on tour. Coming to a city near you. Let's do it.
Hey, look, that's right up the alley then. I'm cool with that.
We have a headliner for the tour though. We might need a headliner.
You, Jeff, you the headliner.
No,
BS.
Diva.
Mr. No BS.
No, we gotta have a diva for the headliner.
Julie knows everyone.
Julie knows everybody.
Julie's a famous singer. Julie's a famous actress. Julie knows everyone.
No. So here's the disclaimer.
No.
Here's the disclaimer. I think the next live need to be when Chanel goes on her next excursion. Our live, we gotta go with her to do the live wherever she is.
I'll be in Puerto Rico next month.
I'm
me.
there.
Who's with me?
We got to check with Brother Man. Brother Man gonna be like, I don't want all y'all with me and my wife over here in Puerto Rico.
Chanel be unplugging when she go on the trip. That's a time to get away. So
I do. I disconnect. That's right. But we'll plan something.
We can plan one. Yes.
Definitely get that in the books.
Yeah,
We'll connect. We'll connect to disconnect. How about that?
yeah. Moonglade Travel said that she was going to be our hooker. So she's the resident travel agency for Conversation with Entrepreneurs, Mahogany Productions. Tasha said she's going to be hooking you up because she want to do something special for her birthday. Since the UK stamp's not on her passport, she needs you to find her somewhere to go.
You know, I'm all for it. Y'all know.
Get a stamp. I said action in. And y'all can help you get a stamp.
Yes.
It is burning her up. So last words, everybody. Julie, do you have to drop?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So, well, Julie hasn't been here a while, so we're going to let Julie be the first one to do the last words.
Well, since Women's History Month is ending or coming to a close, shall I say, in a couple of days, it's not coming to a close because women are the bomb. I would say if there's a woman in your life, whether it's an entrepreneur, mother, sister, cousin, you name it, please celebrate her. Not just for the month of March, but every day, because her life matters too. I'm Julie Logan. Popcorn Heaven.
Julie, you gotta put me on the commercial. You gotta put me on the commercial, Julie. You got to.
Definitely the headliner.
I don't know how you're going to follow up, but I'm going to let Jeff follow up on this one, Chanel.
I don't, that just, I got nothing to say. That was just so beautifully scripted and crafted and just so Divalicious. That's all I'll say.
It was perfect. I think that
That's
summarized.
perfect. And then the way she paused, and did you see how she kind of turned her head a little bit?
Yeah, Jeff, the side, it was the profile for me.
That was this. I'm like, okay. How do I follow up that? I can't follow that. But I will say this though. I am very proud of what Julie's doing. I'm just so excited. I mean, I'm down here in Florida, of course, but I see the posts about how everyone is going to her popcorn shop and they're so excited. It's like the spot. And to go to set that up now during the pandemic, a lot of people are afraid of, venturing out and getting out their comfort zone. You got to get out your comfort zone if you want to be successful. And she's living proof. Hard work pays off, but I just commend you and I salute you for that. And it's perfect for Women's History Month. It's fantastic. So I just think it's fantastic. Of course, Chanel, Chanel, you're our world traveler. You're very cultured, and I just have a lot of respect for you too. I love to see you go on these trips, these excursions, and you have no fear, and that is inspiration for us too. We have to live our lives.
Yeah.
We cannot stay home and be afraid. We got to get out there and live. And Chanel, you are showing us the way. So, another strong Black woman that you have nothing but you got to respect. And you're showing us. Live your life. I don't want to look back on my life in 5, 10 years, and 20 years and be like, man, I didn't do nothing. I let this pandemic get me down. It's like, wait a minute, Chanel is out here doing it. Happy, living. That's a wonderful thing. Alethea is hardworking. She set up this podcast during this pandemic. People don't know what to do. And she's like, you know what? We're going to do this. We're here a year later. We've all grown and matured together as people. We've become a family. We love to laugh and joke. We also get serious and help each other. And she is also, still working on this movie. Nothing's going to stop her. Nothing's going to prevent her from getting ahead. And her daughter's following right behind her footsteps. That is a strong woman. She's bringing up another strong woman right behind her. So this is just perfect for Women's History Month. And as a man, I see that, and I have nothing but respect for our women out here. And this is just, it inspires me just as a man. It's like, you know what? If they can do it, I can do it too. So I just want to, just commend all three of you guys. And of course, Dion, you're my guy. So I'm just happy to even know you. And I have a lot of respect for you. You're going through a lot, but you know what? You're still here. And you're still fighting, so you're a survivor too. So I just want to just say that I just have a lot of respect for all of you in each individual way. So I just want to thank you guys.
I agree with Jeff, and I do. I thank all of you. Who knew how far we would have taken this a year ago? And we've grown so much. Before we started, we was just Blog Talk Radio. We was just talking through the phones, and then we went live, and it took on a different life, and it's been so enjoyable. You guys are more than friends to me, your family, and Jeff, like you said, Julie is doing the thing, like popcorn heaven. I'm scared to go back because I got a 10, and if I get to 10, it's going to fill up, and that's going to mess up my diet all the way through. So it's not that I don't want to come back, Julie. It's just I'm trying to work on the scale right now. But I got my 10, I'm coming back. But it's awesome to see, just like you said, the videos and all the different things that she's doing. And, of course, we're living vicariously through Chanel. I mean, she's just traveling up something like that. And we know when she come back, because then we see the pictures. But it's like you said, it's a testament to living your life. Everyone, even in this time of the pandemic and time of confinement, we have all continued to not only live our lives a certain way, but we've all continued to pursue our entrepreneurial goals, and as well as the guests that we've had on the show over this period of time. Because one of the guests that we had, Denise, your friend, Chanel, what she's doing, I mean, she has the conferences and stuff now going on. So just, some of our former guests that we had too, just looking at them, that people are still going through and doing their business. One young lady that wants to be on the show, her business is growing because the businesses are going back. They're starting to have in place meetings, and she's getting more business to cater and do little different things like that. Oh, Dion, the guy from the food truck, his inspirational story that we shared with you, he had a setback, but he's back out there. He's still making his food. His customers are still coming, and it's great to continue to see even all our former guests that we're connected with and how they're still thriving after they shared their inspirational stories of how they've either started their business or managing their businesses during this pandemic. So this has been a great year. I'm looking forward to the next year, the next level with all of you. I appreciate you all so much in my life. Like, I speak with you guys more than I do my family most times. So, and I enjoy that so much. So I really appreciate you guys so much. You guys are family to me. If podcasts go away and Wi-Fi ain't working, I know that you guys are there. And I really appreciate that. I enjoy that so much. Indeed, you're in our hearts. We know, and we're glad when you can come to the show. And we love and we care for you and your family. So, that's what we are here. It's a podcast, but it's his family that you hear us speaking, see us, enjoying each other every week. So we welcome you to share this next phase of us, this second year that we're venturing in. And we promise you it will not get worse. It is only going to get better.
Oh, yeah.
And we will have many people that you'll be able to meet and greet through the video and see these entrepreneurs showing the way, not only to other entrepreneurs, but to the next generation on how this can be done, how entrepreneurship can be managed. And so we look forward to that next phase with conversations with entrepreneurs.
How to move forward in a pandemic. I will say, you did say, Alethea, about, the podcast and everything goes away. I would be remiss if I didn't say we always have MySpace to fall back on.
You gotta get her, Chanel. You got to, Chanel. It is your duty.
Mama Nell.
Come on, Mama Nell. The youngest one got she's our, yeah.
That is correct.
Youngest one keep us in check.
We're going to put something out there on MySpace just for it, just so that the people can just go there, just in case there's some people out there, just upload something to MySpace.
I bet they are.
Sponsor a show. MySpace sponsors a show on Conversations with Entrepreneurs.
There it is.
We got to do it.
That should be a topic on Clubhouse.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Jeff.
I knew it. I knew it. She set it up. Where's the editor? Need to start editing. Edit some stuff out.
Jill said, I knew it. I knew it.
I knew she was going to say something. It's just a matter of time.
She set it up and she spiked it.
Oh my goodness. I love you guys so much. This is always the greatest day of the week. So with that, I think we're going to say goodnight. Everyone, have a great one, and we will see you guys again next week.